Hey, what's up guys, TotallyDubbed here, and today I'm going to be doing an unboxing and an overview of the monitor of the Qnix QX2710 Evolution 2. This has a matte finish, and this is an ultimate perfect pixel by I think it's Store with Story on eBay. I'll link down to the eBay link below in this description, so make sure to check that out. What ultimate pixel means is that there should be no dead pixels on the screen, and it should have very low backlight bleeding. There is backlight light, so to speak. There's going to be that regardless, because of how the panels are made, PLS panels by Samsung. But the beauty of this monitor is the fact that it has very low input lag. It's overclockable up to 120 Hz. That's not guaranteed, but most people get them to 96 Hz. 96 Hz seems to be the actual desired level. The reason behind that is because of videos being played at 24p, so 24 frames per second. And because of that, your 96 Hz is like the sweet spot for videos, whereas 120 Hz or anything above wouldn't be exactly perfect. Anyway, that's up to you in terms of what you decide to overclock it to, but in this overview I will also be overclocking it. Right now I have a single GTX 680 by MSI, and I'm going to look to SLI it. I actually just recently bought a GTX 680, hopefully that should be coming in soon as well. But yeah, I'm planning to go SLI because I want to enjoy 144p as much as possible, and I don't want to be compromising on quality that much. That is the reason why I've gone SLI. I was thinking about going for the GTX 780 or 780 Ti, but the cost is a bit more, and the whole FPS gains would have been less than my GTX 680s SLI'd. But with that said, I am limiting myself with VRAM on the GTX 680s because the GTX 680s only have 2GB VRAM, so that is my bottleneck of my system. Right now I am running an LG IPS234V. That is an IPS display. It has I think 8 milliseconds response time, which will be exactly the same as this Qnix. It's only a 22-inch and it's 1080p. It has multiple input, which is brilliant. However, this has a single input DVI-D, so you guys have to make sure this is a DVI-D only input monitor. There is multiple input monitors of the Qnix, however I highly suggest not getting them, simply because of the input lag, which is about 30 milliseconds, and furthermore the price is a little bit more, and you won't be able to overclock it. I actually bought one and had to return it via Red Cap seller on eBay. So anyway, let's get on with this unboxing. So this is a power brick, as you can see, pretty simple. It is 100 volts to 240 volts. It's rated at 1.2 amps. So that's okay for you guys in the US, for example. You're provided with a Dvid cable, which is very good to have. In case people are not aware, again, I should stress again, this is a DVI-D a monitor, so you cannot have DVI-I, and you have to plug it to a graphics card that DVI-D enabled. So nice to have the wire provided. The wire, you've got a connection. The one I've got is an EU plug. I'm in the UK, so that doesn't really apply to me, but you've got an EU plug, which is useful regardless, and I can do a workaround because I've got an adapter and whatnot, so that's no problem right there. You've got two 3.5mm inputs. Now I don't know why that's included, but you've got two 3.5mm inputs, like so. You get a little leaflet from Qnix themselves telling you the inputs and whatnot. Anyway, I'll get to that in a little bit. Just putting that aside. Just checking the... yeah, that's fine. Right. Oh, well, perfect. There you go. Talking about an adapter. Toy Story includes a little adapter, which is very nice. I was not expecting that, but here we go. It's a universal adapter, if I'm not mistaken. Lock, unlock, and there you go. So I can unlock it. Goes into my UK plug right there. It's a universal plug. You've got Europe over there, you've got US over here as well, and Japan, and that is brilliant. That is absolutely brilliant. I'm very happy to have that. And this lock and unlock thing works like so. So yeah, that's that. That's brilliant. I'm really happy with that. Really happy with that, to receive that. I'm just trying to do that anyway, it doesn't matter. Okay, that's that. That's really nice to have the adapter. So first of all, the stand. Let's get the stand out. Got a plastic stand with metal at the bottom. And now the lovely monitor itself. Now it's got nice protection. I've got to say I'm very impressed with the protection that this monitor has. Let's put the box to the side. Monitor itself, here we go. So we get this plastic film and whatnot off. Just trying to get it off safely and not to damage the monitor. These monitors are very sensitive, I must say. Last thing you want is to damage it. So trying to work out where's the best place to open it from. Here we go. Get that out. As you can see, it's a matte finish. If it wasn't apparent already, it is a matte finish indeed. So we've got that. There is a glossy model as well that some people very much prefer. But the reason I didn't go for the glossy is because I didn't want any reflection, and I always leave the window open and whatnot. So the last thing I want is massive reflection of myself, my ugly little self. in the mirror. So you've got these LED and whatnot kind of embedded in there. So at the back, let me show you this. Hopefully, I want to try and just check the camera that you guys can see what I'm seeing. You can. It's very little, but you got DVI-D input over there, you got audio input over there, and you got the DC power over here. And just at the back, you've got the QX2710 LED. 45 watts, 45 watts, I think that's to do with speaker, and then you've got 12 volts DC slash 5 amperage for that, and you've got a serial number and whatnot over here. The stand is a little plastic stand. You've got the VESA mounts as well, which are over here, which are very useful for wall mounting, and I highly suggest if you guys want to wall mount it to do that. And now I'm just going to put its stand that was included with it. I'm going to be having it on my desk, so I'm not going to be mounting it anywhere. But I know some people which have bought external stands. For example, you can buy a little cheap monoprice stand if you guys are in the US, and you can have that. Very useful for mounting it on any VESA mount certified, shall I say, stands out there. And by that I mean you can buy a cheap stand for like £10–20, and then you can have tilt adjustments and whatnot. This doesn't have any sort of adjustment. It is, well, it does have tilt, there we go. It's very minor, but it has it right there. But apart from that, you have no other adjustments. So monitor looks good over there. What I'm going to do is plug this in. I'm going to make sure everything's running, and then I'm going to try and overclock it. And then after trying to overclock it, I'm going to give you the results with the proof of its overclocking, so that you guys will be able to see the overclocking results that I get to. No panel is the same, all panels are different, but I'm going to try and see what I can get up to, being it perfect. Alright guys, I'll be back in a bit. Hey, what's up guys? So I am back. So I was spending a few hours on the monitor and playing around, and also checking out Battlefield 4 with the monitor itself, checking frames per second, checking its overclocking ability, checking for dead pixels and whatnot, and everything like that. So first of all, I should say, when it came to the setup, my DVI cable that I actually had with my LG, that was a custom bought, should I say, I bought it off eBay, the Dvid cable. It did not work with this monitor, but the cable that came with the monitor that I showed you guys in the unboxing just before worked perfectly fine. As you can see, it's displaying perfectly 1440p. Now I want to show you some things, especially overclocking abilities and whatnot. So first of all, I want to show you I am currently running on 96 Hertz. So I'm going to zoom that in. I know it's very small, so you guys can see it's running at 96 Hertz. So I'm using an Nvidia GPU. I've got the GTX 680, as I said before, and I'm going to be looking to SLI it. But you just click customize on there, and you create a custom resolution. I'm going to make a overclocking guide, but all credits are going to go to forum member Toasty on overclockers.net, because he's the one which guided most people on how to overclock their monitors and how to properly overclock them. So that's in a separate video. Check down in the description below, because or else this video will be too long. So as I said, this is just an overview. It's not a review or anything like that. I just wanted to show you pictures I took of the monitor. So this picture, as you can see right now, is the monitor completely switched off. Well, not switched off, brightness on like 0, and it was in the light room. As you can see, I turned off my lights, but the light, as you can see, shining in, there's still a an effect that you're going to be able to see, because it is a matte finish, but that does mean you get reflection. So as you can see, there's the matte finish. It was glossy. I would have been able to see myself perfectly over there, but there it's just a silhouette. So then I was checking for dead pixels and whatnot, and backlight bleeding. So what I did, I closed my curtains and whatnot and checked for backlight bleeding. As you'll be able to see, there's a little white kind of shadow or glow over here, but this is really not backlight bleeding to me. This is just how a PLS display would display. A lot of people get it wrong between glowing and backlight bleeding. This is not backlight bleeding, or even if it is, then it's not noticeable. As you can see, I'm running Windows right now. There's no sort of white sort of shade or black shade on here, even though that picture kind of showed it. When I was looking at it in real life, I couldn't see anything. It's just a camera which picked it up somehow. So as you can see, I then went on for the pixel checker, dead pixel checker, as I bought the ultimate pixel perfect monitor. I didn't want any dead pixels. And in fact, most of the time when I was doing these tests, there was like little bits of dust on my screen, and I thought it was a dead pixel until I put my hand over it and took it off, and it was gone. So I can report that I have no dead pixels at all. There is absolutely none. I checked with all colors, white, there was red, there was green, blue, and whatnot. So I checked that, and as you can see in Windows right now, there's no dead pixels. I'll link down in the description this thing. It's basically colors, solid colors, and you press full screen, so F11 on your browser, and then it just goes into full screen in complete blue color of your monitor, and then you F11 to get it off full screen and whatnot. So I'll link down that in the description, which I'll put as the pixel checker. Let's put it that way. Next was my overclocking results. So the way you do this is you have to go to this website. It's Blurbusters. I will link that in the description as well. And what it does is it takes your monitor and it runs like a sequence of huge amount of lines which goes through it really, really quickly. You won't be able to keep up. But to validate it, I mean, this is 96 Hertz, as you can see, it's validated, but that doesn't actually mean anything, because it could be 96 Hertz right there, but it could be skipping frames. Skipping frames, long story short, means that it doesn't overclock. Skipping frames would be, imagine these two boxes over here black, or that one black, so one and the other were black. I had no skipping frames at any hertz that I put. At 120 it didn't accept it, it went all green and fuzzy. I'll show you in a second, but I just wanted to prove to you that I'm 96 hertz overclocked and it is fully stable. And as you can see, the line is clear, and to do this you have to take your camera, so the camera that's pointed over here, or a smartphone, but I really suggest a normal camera, as they've got better sensors. Put your ISO down to 100 and click, and make sure you're not shaking or anything, just click and take a picture and it will come up like this. So this is 96 Hertz. As you can see, I went for 100 Hertz over here, 105 Hertz was there, 115 Hertz was there. Now 115 Hertz works, as you can see over here, but as soon as I closed the window for my browser, I saw little green lines appearing around in the middle bit of the screen. In other words, it's either the cable, which cable can make a difference, or the monitor can't display. And to be quite honest, I don't really care that much between 96 Hertz, 115 Hertz, or say 110 Hertz and whatnot. So 110 Hertz actually works, but As you can see over here, again validated and taken a picture of. 110 Hz works, but 115 or above didn't work properly for me. So there were more pictures of 110 Hz just to prove that it was working fine. And there we go, that's the end of the pictures. Now I'm going to show you just quickly what I mean by the lines and whatnot in Video Control Panel with 120 Hz. So I'm going to hit up this, create custom resolution, 120, test, and you're going to be able to see in a second it's all green and fuzzy, so it does not do 120 Hz. 115 was it that I had tested and passed. As you can see, there's green lines over here. They weren't like that before, and I think 110 should work perfectly fine. Oh, there's duplicate resolution because I've already got 110 Hz saved over here, and you'll be able to see 110 Hz works perfectly fine right there. But I reverted it to 96 Hz as my desired refresh rate, and as I said before, it depends with the videos you're playing. So for example, you're playing some videos, they run most of the time at 24p, and therefore 96 Hz is like the sweet spot, let's put it that way. You get no lag or stutters or whatnot at 96 Hz. So there we go. And again, make sure that you're going to check out my overclocking guide or check out Toasty's guide, which again I'll link down in the description, that you guys know how to overclock it properly, depending on if you're on AMD or NVIDIA. I am on NVIDIA, so I had to follow the NVIDIA things. I also did try to look at some color profiles via the color sustainer. This was linked by Lawson on overclock.net, and he showed me some different color profiles, but unfortunately the color profiles didn't really work out great for me. So I'm just going to show you at 96 Hz. I'm going to just go find the there we go, 96 Hz, I think that's it. Yep, 96 Hz. And I press associate profile, and then I hit start. And if you can, I don't know if you'll be able to see, but it just goes a bit white, and it's almost like it destroys the colors for me, so it doesn't really work. And 120 Hz the profile was even worse. As you can see, it's going completely white. But for Lawson, on the other hand, for him, he said that it really sorted out his gamma shift. As you can see, I have no real problems with the colors. In fact, they look absolutely spectacular. If anything, I could increase the gamma just by a little bit, or the color saturation just a little bit, to make it a little bit more color focused. But anyway, guys, this has been my overview and unboxing of the Qnix QX2710 Evolution 2, and as you can see, I overclocked the monitor and whatnot. This is not a review because, in all honesty, you guys will be able to see reviews online, and I'm not going to do a review for this monitor because I've not got the capabilities of doing a proper review. All I can say is it is an absolutely beautiful monitor coming from my LG IPS234V. Really impressed with how the colors look like, really impressed by the resolution, everything's so tiny, and I'm really impressed with its overclocking ability. Only thing that's a shame that it hasn't got HDMI, so I can't play my Xbox on it, but that's because the monitor doesn't have a scaler, and if I wanted that, then it would dampen my overclocking abilities. So it's a give or take, and I chose, to be honest, I was like, you know what, I'm hardly playing on the Xbox anymore, and even if I did, I could put it on the big TV. So you know what, forget the Xbox completely, and anyway, my Xbox Live membership is going to be running out soon, so forget that. I'm just sticking to PC gaming on this monitor, and that's what I've decided to do. And I PC game most of the time now anyway, so I don't really care about the Xbox. So do bear that in mind before buying, and do bear in mind that Dvid cable are very, very important, just in case you guys wonder like, oh, why is it not working, it's not switching on. It's maybe your cable. Make sure you check that out. Anyway, guys, again, I purchased this from Toy with Story. I'll have the thing over here. I made him an offer for $330, which came to $350 altogether, including shipping. It posted out really, really quick. It took less than, I think it was 7 days? Less than 7 days. Less than 7 days. It took about 6 days, 5 days to arrive here, from all the way from Korea. I had to pay £16 in customs charge for it, but that was because it was marked as a gift and a lower value. So there you go. So anyway, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video, hopefully you like it. If you do, make sure you give it a nice thumbs up, and do subscribe, and make sure you check out my overclocking guide, which I'm going to be uploading very, very soon after this video. Alright, guys, I've been Totally Dubbed. Take care. Bye bye.